Okay, so we went through all the steps and we downloaded some photos, and these are the test shots. And then I'm going to go through my whole process of how I do the initial culling or the initial filtering of the photos and get rid of the ones that are just trash. Different people do it different ways. I do not go through them before I put them on my hard drive because my eyes suck and it's a small screen. I'm on a laptop and I don't want to accidentally get rid of a photo that is awesome. So I do shoot a lot of photos. If you're doing you know, if you're doing like landscape, you only need a couple photos, right? And you could just have this really awesome photo. But if you're doing like Milky Way or Aurora, it's always moving. Milky Way doesn't move, but I mean, it does a little bit, but you will sometimes want to have multiple photos so you can stack them, and which gives them a little bit more color, it gives them a little bit more depth, and it will also help with focusing. You could stack like 10 photos on top of each other and it will help your stars be pinpoint and everything looks sharp and colorful. So there's different reasons to have like a ton of photos. So I always have a ton of photos. Also, if you have up to like 300 photos or more, you can create your own time lapse. So it's a time lapse that you do on the computer and not in on your phone. So eh, anyway, so I always have a lot of photos. So what my process is, and you don't have to completely adapt it the way you want, but I feel like I've had enough experiences and gone through starting over with Lightroom so many times, and with everything that I've done, I have found a try and true way of doing it that works for me. All right, so what I do is I go through one by one. Okay, I'm going to go through one by one and I'm going to select the ones that I don't like. And the ones that I don't like, I am going to start with a one. If I do this, set rating to one. And what that does is it gives it a 1 star rating. And I have gone through and I've selected a bunch of ones that were like pretty bad. And so I have selected like I think 21 out of 81 photos that I did not like, whether they're blurry, people are moving, it just, I don't like it. And so what I'm going to do, I select one with the ones that I don't like. Then I'm going to go here to this filter right here. And I am going to filter all of the 1 stars, which is my rejects. There they are. Okay. And you can see like this one, why I don't like it. This guy's like face is blurry and she's blurry and it's just not a good photo. So I reject all of these. And that is how I do my first initial filter. If I have any problems with the recording, I might have to do another, split this recording in half because I keep getting these error messages, which doesn't make any sense. But anyway, so yeah, I've selected 21 photos that I completely reject. And so out of 81, I'm going to get rid of 21. And so how I do that is I go here and I'm just going to do Command A, which is like basically a select all. I don't know what it's on the PC, but I select all of the ones. And then I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to go to remove photos. I do not want to just remove them from Lightroom. I want to remove them from this because those 21 photos, raw photos that are on this drive that are taking up space that I will never want ever. So I am going to make sure that my hard drive is connected and I'm going to say delete from disk. There, they're deleted. And if it wasn't connected, I just disconnected it and you see everything got gray. Say I was like, okay, I don't like this one, or I don't know, just this one. I don't like this one. So if I go to delete this one, I don't have the option to delete it from disk because my disk isn't connected. So what it's going to do is it's going to remove it it's going to remove the smart preview from Lightroom, but it's not going to delete it from the disk. And then it's still here on my disk taking up space. So, you want to make sure that your hard drive is connected and you are selecting the right option to delete from disk. It'll take a minute. It'll register that it connected again, and there you go. Now, if I go to delete this one, I'm going to get that option, delete from disk. And there you go. So now I'm left with 59 photos. And from there, you got to make sure that your filter is off, because if you select one. Now, after I get the bad ones out, depending on how many you have, I might do it again. Like I just did a quick what's blurry, whatever. But this is only 80 or what, 60 photos. If I had like 400, I might be a little bit more picky, depending on if I want to do stacking or a time lapse. This one was interesting because I was going to do more research, because this has got all aurora everywhere, and then it got aurora down here. I'm going to lighten it up a little bit so you can see, but it's interesting. It's a curtain of aurora and then like aurora coming down, and so yeah, I want to edit that and share it with my space weather friends. This is not something I see typically. But anyway, I'm going to go through and I will do another round of culling if I feel like I need to, filtering. If not, I need to make sure that I've gone through and filtered all my photos. And then my next step is I will go through and I will select ones that I know I want to edit, and I will select those as a 2. It's very interesting. It's got that red. So let's just say I want to edit this one, that one. I'm just selecting random ones. Okay, so then I'm like, okay, you know what? I've selected all the ones that I wanted. So then you're going to go to here, filter, and you're going to go to. And then it's going to show me all the ones that I selected. I selected these 7 ones. These 7 are what I want to do for further editing. And then as I edit them, I'm just going to do some quick, not anything fancy. I'm just going to slide some slides. I'm not actually putting any thought into this at all. Okay, so now I'm like, you know what? This is the perfect edit. It's great. Or it's not quite perfect, but I want to fine tune it. I would either rate it a 3, 4, or 5. 3 would be needs further editing. Well, 2 is kind of like, I'm going to go through these again and I might edit. If I edit, it becomes 3. If I feel like it needs to be fine tuned a little bit, I'll do 4. If it's perfect, then it's a 5 rating. It's ready to go. It's done. Moving on. And that's how I do it. Then I have this 1 5 rating. That's how I do it. A lot of photographers try to go through and get rid of the bad ones before they even put them into Lightroom, but I don't trust my eyes enough and my small monitor. I think if I had a big monitor, it might be different, but it's just easier for me to do it this way. And so my system is to go through, do the initial filtering, and then if there's like 1,000 photos, my eyes will get tired of seeing the same thing. I will walk away and even come back to it the next day and then do a second filter and go through. But just keep in mind, when you are filtering either the Milky Way or the Aurora, you really want a lot of those photos to either do a time lapse or not really too much for Aurora, but like for Milky Way, you might want 10 of the same photo to stack. You might want to do a panorama. You might want to do like, you know, four down below, four above. You want to stitch them. So keep this stuff in mind when you are doing the filtering. Like I'm sure some people are like, this is the one shot that I love from the night, and this is the only one I'm keeping. I wouldn't. I have too many. I can't. So yeah, that's how I go through and filter my my photos. There is other options. I don't use soft proof. I think I went over that before. But there's also like these are like reject. I don't use those. Another thing you could do is what's really cool are these color things. And so I will use these for like green is Aurora, yellow might be family stuff, blue is for nature. I actually have a like a key on my computer because I can never remember the colors. But you can use the colors for the same thing. So if you want to label something a yellow and then know that you reject the yellows and then just eventually delete them on the disk. And we'll go over this when we're in Alaska. I don't expect you to actually go through and do this process necessarily unless you want to practice before because it can get confusing. But I just kind of wanted you to have a basic understanding. And maybe you can just like practice with some test shots and try to get some catalog set up and get, you know, some stuff in there and play with some of these sliders and stuff just to see what happens. But um, yeah, what's really cool is so you have ratings 1 through 5. Red is rating 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I never use these. Oh, you know, I think these are kind of new. I don't remember these in Lightroom actually. It only went up to 10. But like say I was like, oh, I want to label this with a green for Aurora, 8. Oh, no, yellow, 7, red, 9. Yeah, I don't know about these other ones. These are new. They're not something I'm used to. But anyway, just hopefully I didn't confuse you too much. But I might do some more videos later on this week. But for now, I think this was a good start.